First of all, I want to say that whenever I've seen footage whenever I have seen films or footage of other protests, it's been mostly just people making a lot of noise and not really much else. But I can see in this crowd that these are the people who work. These are the people who produce. You are the people who carry on your shoulders the people who don't work and don't produce. And you are people who vote. And the people in Washington better listen up. Now I'm going to ask you, how would you like to get 100% of your pay when you get your paycheck? No deductions. How would you like to have the IRS go away? No filing taxes. No fear of audits. April 15th, just another beautiful spring day. How would you like to stop politicians from using the tax code to reward their buddies or punish their enemies? How would you like it if illegals, people working in the underground economy, tourists, the wealthy, and even politicians paid their fair share of taxes? How would you like to be completely in charge of how much you pay in federal taxes? Sound good? If you think so, you are in favor of the fair tax. The fair tax is legislation proposed and in the House and the Senate since 1999. We are working hard to get co-sponsors in the legislature, and we now have more than 50. Maybe after today, we'll have more than that. The fair tax repeals the 16th Amendment to the Constitution. That, for any of you who might not know, is the amendment that allows the income tax. So the fair tax abolishes the income tax and gets rid of the IRS as we know it. There will be no more federal taxes automatically withheld from your pay and no tax filing. Instead of the income tax, the federal government will be financed by a national retail sales tax. This is a one-time tax paid at the point of sale on all new goods and services. The fair tax is about 23% of the cost of a new item that you purchase. And you may say, well, heck, I don't want to be paying 23% more for that pair of shoes. But the truth is, you will not pay more because 22% of the cost of everything you buy now is in embedded taxes. These are taxes that are added to the cost of a product all along the chain of manufacture by every person who puts in a component of that finished product. So you take away that 22%, and not only does that thing cost less, but to us before the fair tax, but it also costs less to people overseas. So people overseas will be buying our exports again. Yeah! The fair tax does not burden the poor. This is another objection that some people have. No one will pay taxes on the necessities of living. Every person in the country who has a Social Security number will be eligible to receive a monthly check called a prebate. This prebate equals 23% of the cost of living at the poverty level, the official federal poverty level. So the poor will pay no federal tax, and everyone controls what they pay above that level, depending on how much you consume and whether you buy new or used goods. The wealthy, including many in Congress, by the way, will no longer be able to avoid paying taxes by exploiting loopholes with the help of expensive lawyers. Everyone, illegals, pushers, pimps, prostitutes, and even politicians will be paying their taxes. The fair tax eliminates the ability of politicians to manipulate the tax code to buy votes. It also gets rid of the very frightening trend toward politicians using the IRS to punish or intimidate individuals. Think AIG. You really could say that any public official who does not support the fair tax after being educated about it is in politics for the purpose of achieving and keeping power, rather than to benefit his or her constituents and the country. This proposed legislation truly affords the most effective and quickest way to get our economy back on track. Our tax code discourages productivity and it discourages savings. Our corporate taxes are the second highest in the world, and this has sent business away from our country, causing huge loss of jobs, crippling our economy, and making us vulnerable to the current financial meltdown. Please join us in our fight to get the fair tax enacted. Wearing fair tax shirts and hats with literature to give you. We want to give a special thanks to Rich Dobson, who has, with his own resources, provided the signs like these that you see. And by the way, there's a bunch of billboards going up around town that have this art on them. And also a bunch of postcards like, let me get it out of my pocket here. Too much stuff. Oh gosh. Okay, it says, "You're fired." You can get these for the asking to mail to your representatives to let them know that we mean business. Right on. Okay, on the internet, go to fairtax.org and fairtaxnation.com. Come to our meetings. Strike fear into the hearts of our politicians and let them know that if they are not willing to promote the general welfare rather than to protect their own power, we will throw them out. We're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore!
Kate Birch, ladies.